Eric Casher 5586 asks, can you do a tier list or ranking of the S-Class morally good to evil? So yes, I could do this, and I guess a tier list would be easier. So yeah, we're going to start with good, going up to evil, and of course with all lists, it's highly subjective, but let me know what your lists are in the comments, because I'm sure they will be different from mine. So starting off with the goodest of the good, I think it would be Pig God, right? I know that's kind of surprising, but he seems to be the most morally just S-Class hero. Like, he's never done anything wrong, and he's always willing to put his life on the line or just to do the right thing. I mean, he even went back to the Monster Association after the battle was over just to make sure that there was no monsters left, because he had a feeling that there would be. I know he doesn't speak a lot, but his actions speak louder than his words. And then next to him, I guess we would put King. So King has had some growing pains. He was very cowardly in the beginning of season 2. Like, he was willing to have those people die against G4 in exchange for him just running away and saving himself, but he's certainly grown since then, and now he's quite the opposite. Like, he will put his life on the line despite knowing how vulnerable he is. But also, he's just pretty morally straight. Like, he is what I would consider, like, you know, super good here. So then after him, I guess we could put Tank Top Master. Yes, Tank Top Master is like crazy, you know, about the tank top and all that stuff, but he's just as morally sound as Pig God, I suppose, right? He's never really done anything wrong, and he seemingly would gladly put his life on the line to do his heroly duties, right? So I don't see why he wouldn't be super good. Let's also put Blast in the super good category as well, because I mean, he's put this whole God thing on his back, even went out of his way to secretly have this battle for like over 20 years just so that no one else would be drawn into it. Like, he's extremely selfless here. And he was even like cool with Saitama and Flashy Flash having Monako with them, who he clearly knew was a monster. So yeah, I would say Blast is super good probably. So then going to the good tier, not necessarily super good, I guess would be Metal Bat, right? Metal Bat, very good guy. He just has like an attitude problem, you know what I mean? But that makes up his personality. He's a bancho. Obviously very caring for his sister, but he obviously will put his life on the line to do the right thing. And he was also very accepting of Garo, despite knowing that he was a monster. He even defended Garo at the end of his fight against Saitama when they wanted to like take him out. It's just that maybe he would go a little too far sometimes, you know, due to him being overheated, as to where I don't think that would probably happen with the super good guys here. So then also in the good tier, we could put Bang. He's very similar to Metal Bat. I mean, he doesn't have the attitude that Metal Bat does, but originally he kind of did, right? Back in his young days. But now Bang is just a straight good guy, although he can get a little crazy sometimes. So I'll also put Zombie Man in the good category too. He's kind of just like a hard-boiled detective type. He's never really done anything wrong, and it seems like he's always trying to do the right thing, right? I mean, I wouldn't consider him super good, but he's good. I wouldn't put him in the not bad. So for the not bad category, I guess we could put Atomic Samurai there. I mean, he's become more good as the story has gone on, but just like Metal Bat, he kind of has like an attitude problem for sure, but I just don't think that you could consider him like good. I mean, yeah, he'll do his heroly duties and he'll defend the people and kill the monsters and everything, but I don't even think he would consider himself like a good guy, if that makes sense. I'll also put Super Ally Darkshine here because while he is, you know, very heroly and does his duties and protects people and whatnot, he has severe mental hangups. You know, the insecurities, the cowardliness, and I do think that would probably get in the way of his duties, similar to how it did with King. Like, I could see him getting into a situation where if he were, like, beat down enough, he would cower away or just be stuck in his mind and people would just die as a result. As to where the others on this list, they would fight until the end, for sure. So for Janos, I think I'll put him in the he's kind of like in between good and not bad, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I'll put him in good for now. It seems like he has progressed as the series has gone on, but it seems like Janos isn't afraid to get his hands dirty. I mean, he wouldn't kill a civilian or anything like that. I mean, obviously he went out of his way to save that little girl from Deep Sea King, you know, sacrificing his entire body, but I wouldn't say he's necessarily as super good as the rest of these heroes. Like, I think Janos would probably kill another hero if he felt that he needed to, as to where these guys wouldn't. Like, they would just try to restrain them, if anything. But Janos would straight up neutralize them. So maybe put him in not bad. So then Child Emperor, I'll put him in not bad as well, because he is good. Certainly as the series has gone on, he's become more affable. I mean, they've actually did some redraws like a couple years ago, with his sequence with Waganma to make him more affable. So the main reason why we put him in not bad is because he has like that genius pragmatism as to where he would be the one to make the tough choices here. For example, if he was presented with a situation where it was like save 100 people or save 10 people, he would probably instantly say like save 100 people, as to where like the others below him would probably try to figure out a way to save everyone, if you know what I mean. So then questionable, I'll put Watchdog Man, because he is questionable. I mean, obviously he saves people in Q City and he's very devoted to it, but it kind of plays to a detriment with him because he never leaves Q City, meaning that he seemingly would allow others to die in other cities, knowing that he could have saved them, but he chose not to, such as with the Monster Association battle. They desperately needed him and he just didn't care enough to leave Q City. And also, we still hardly know anything about him, so I'm just going to put him in questionable for now. So in the not so good, I'm going to put Puri Puri Prisoner. Yes, he is very hero-y, and he would definitely put his life on the line to save people, but he has a very sus past. I mean, he is the prisoner for a reason. I can't really get too much into why he's a prisoner because of, YouTube, but he's done really bad things in the past. And he continues to do them in prison, too. So it's like, he's not so good. For Tatsumaki, I'll put her in questionable. She's obviously very hero-y and will defend the people, but it seems like she wouldn't really care if a few died in the process. You know what I mean? Like, collateral damage doesn't really seem like too big of a deal to her, which I assume that it is a big deal to the others below her. Flashy Flash, I'll put in not so good, I guess. I mean, he's not like evil or anything, but he's not so good. Like, he has murdered humans before. I mean, yeah, they were probably bad guys considering what he told Hellfire and Gale. And also, his upbringing in the ninja village and all that stuff has skewed him into the person that he is now. But also, he just seems like he would just murder people if he really had to. I mean, he tried to murder Saitama. So, for a Mind Mask, man, you could put him in evil or not so good because I don't know. I want to say that he's not so good. I can't put him in straight up evil yet because he has been retconned from him killing Narinki's private squad. Even though he was willing to kill them, it's just that I know that my mask isn't truly evil. He does feel like he's trying to do the right thing, but he just goes about it in the wrong way. He's just so staunch on his own brand of justice that it can come across as evil or wrong to most, but I wouldn't say that he is truly evil. So for Metal Knight, we'll put questionable because I think that he's a true neutral character and extremely pragmatic. Now, the worst thing that he's ever done was that he was going to allow Waganma to die pretty much because when he was talking to Child Emperor about what they were going to do with the Monster Association, Metal Knight proposed that they would just carpet bomb the entire thing, which would in turn kill Waganma, but in exchange for not sacrificing any heroes and just cleanly taking them out. As to where Child Emperor disagreed with that, and most of the other heroes would disagree with that as well. But Metal Knight, very pragmatic, sees that as the smart thing to do. And I think governments in our reality would probably do the same thing, to be honest. But I just don't think Metal Knight is evil, but he's also not good. And then for evil, there's only really one character that I could truly put in there, and that is Drive Knight. Now, yes, of course, it hasn't been confirmed fully in the series yet that he is evil, but if you follow the channel, you know my stance on Drive Knight. I think that he's actually the mad cyborg and the leader of the organization as well. Yes, he has helped some people in the story so far, but you gotta keep up appearances.